Hey, welcome to the Dr. Jeff Experience. Uh, Glad to be back. Let me apologize to you all last week. Um, as you can see, I'm a little dressed down today, but last week we were experiencing some difficulties. What I did not know is I came back from the 84th Conclave for Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Looks like we had a little bit too much fun. I came down with COVID. So um, all last week, man, I was recovering from COVID, and thank God for modern medication and a wife as a nurse. So feeling good now, feeling better. Hopefully, this thunderstorm doesn't knock us out. We can stay online tonight because we want to continue with the conversation that has been going around, and I want you to tag people, let folks know that we're on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live. So let some folks know, chime in, tell somebody to get on Facebook Live. We're on tonight. We're going to be continuing our conversation about what's Project 2025. Now, let me just do a little disclaimer for you first. Um, I am not endorsing any one party. I stand for who I stand for, but I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not trying to encourage you on what to do. What I believe in is giving you information. And this is not an endorsement of any party. I'm not saying that Project 2025 is a bad thing or if it's a good thing. I'm giving you information because it's being talked about. I know that Taraji P. Henson mentioned it on the BET Awards. I know that other people have been talking about it. At Essence, it was being thrown around. At our conclave, it was being thrown around. So there's bits and pieces of it on social media. So we're going to dig into it tonight, and I'm going to actually pull it up for you and go through some of it. I want you to see who's behind it because it's quite interesting. This is a very serious piece that they've put together. It's 920-page plan. Now, for full disclosure, I have not read all 920 pages. I have read a considerable amount of the pages, enough to be able to discuss this tonight intelligently and give you what I believe is the information that you need in order to make an educated decision. Um, because let me say this. Um, you see that all of a sudden Donald Trump is backing up from even knowing who these people are who are supposed to be part of Project 2025. Yet, some of the framers of Project 2025 are some of his former um, administrators. So that's quite interesting in itself. What Project 2025 is a 920-page plan. It's very thorough, and it's how they want to change the country based upon their interpretation. And I'm going to be throwing that word around, interpretation, quite frequently because words matter. And I believe that interpretation is one of the biggest words that we can use tonight in telling you about Project 2025. Project 2025 is a plan that this conservative group, the Heritage Group, and many other groups have come together and put together this plan to change to change um, the United States government according to what their interpretation of what it should be. This conservative group has gotten together and said, "Hey, starting day one, we are going to um, we're going to go forth and change the government. We're going to get rid of some of the what they call bureaucracy. We're going to get rid of some of the federal agencies. We're going to get rid of, I think they're calling for over 50,000 civil servants, but we'll get into that. um, with the exact number. But this is what this group is doing. This is Project 2025. It's a conservative group of people. And the sad thing, who have gotten together to, if in fact Donald Trump wins this election, they will be in a position to change what this government looks like. They feel as though that, based upon their interpretation of what society should look like, America needs to change, and these are the ones who are going to do it. This is a 180-day plan. They believe that if it's not done within the first 180 days, it won't happen. So this is going to be quick, fast, and a hurry, guys. This is why I tell you, whatever side of the fence you're on, you got to vote. You got to vote, point blank. Um, and you've got to learn about this plan. We're going to talk about it tonight. So, first of all, the sad part is only 1 in 4 Americans have heard of Project 2025. You need to ask some of your friends and family members starting tonight, hey, have you heard of Project 2025? Have you heard of Project 2025? And you'd be surprised how many people have not heard of this. What Project 2025 is, it's to be executed, like I said, on day one, the first day, and it's a plan that will take, they believe, 180 days. Listen, they're not playing. They have put together this plan, and they're moving forward. They're moving forward, whether you like it or whether you don't. Okay. Um, Included in this plan, and we're going to go over it. We're going to go to the website and we're going to show you exactly what we're talking about. I'm just giving you highlights right now, to kind of tease you a little bit. But their plan is to cut Social Security, and just imagine that. Those of you who have worked all your life, your parents, your grandparents, many of them are on fixed income. They might have a pension, small pension, and they are waiting on Social Security or expecting to live off of Social Security. Um, and now this group of people who will not be elected. That's the other thing. These are not elected officials. They believe that they will be appointed by Donald Trump if he is elected and given full reign to implement this plan to get rid of Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, veterans benefits, the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, the Food and Drug Administration, the EEOC, which is the Equal Employment Opportunity Center, Workers Protections. Now, if you think this is impossible, you remember last week we talked about the newest legislation that came down, the new legislation that came down from the Supreme Court, and one of those was the Chevron Act. The Chevron Act basically took away some of the powers from some of these government agencies to make decisions and make policy. You're talking about civil servants who have gone to school all their lives, who are experts in that particular field, and now you're going to give it to somebody who is an ideologue or someone who has a thought on how it should be with really no expertise. That's not the way we should be going. That's just my opinion. Again, I'm giving you the information so that you can make an informed decision on how to vote for those who are in favor of Project 2025 and those who are not. Okay. So those are some of the things that they want to do. They want to get rid of, or they want to extend the powers of the executive branch. In other words, they want to extend the powers of the president to be able to make more executive decisions without having to go through the House and the Senate. Um, there's basically they're setting it up for the president to become an autocrat. Okay, in case you don't know, like a Putin, a king. They want this to. They want him to be a forever president, and that's just not how the Constitution was set up. But they want to redo some parts of the Constitution, which is kind of crazy. But again, this conservative group, and I'm going to show you just who they are. I'm going to show you just who they are. This conservative group has come out with a plan, 920 pages, my friend, 920 pages, that they say this needs to happen in order for America to be on point. All right, so we're trying to get some technical things here. I see some comments, but they're not coming through on my end. But we'll work that out. We'll work that out. We'll work that out. We'll work that out. So again, welcome tonight. Tell your friends we're here. We are here. I got people hit me on all angles tonight here, and I'm trying to handle all of these. Anyway, so let's get right into this. The other parts of this, they want executive orders to remove civil rights. They don't believe in civil rights. They believe that supposedly everyone is equal. Everyone is equal. Now, we know what some of the problems are with that. Okay, this is again their interpretation. Okay, their interpretation. This didn't happen overnight, guys. I want you to know this. This stuff didn't happen overnight. Brother Scott, how you doing, brother Lil John? Good to see you. Minister Hope, Reverend Hope. So glad to see you guys. I can't see you. Kiva, how you doing, baby? My YouTube comments are coming through, but I'm reading them off of Facebook. Okay, cool. All right. So yes, they want to do executive orders to remove civil rights. Rule Q, I see you, brother Steve-O. President, they want the president to be an autocrat. They want to direct the military to support domestic law enforcement. In other words, martial law. Okay, and they want to do this under the Insurrection Act to stop protests on U.S. soil. So if you want to protest something, the members of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, we had a solid march in Florida about some of the things that are going on there. Well, guess what? Under this law, we would have been arrested. We would have been arrested under the Insurrection Act. Now, it's funny that they want to include the Insurrection Act after what has taken place during an insurrection on January 6th. These are the same people. They want to eliminate protections for the LGBTQI. They want to reverse racial equality. They want to replace secular education with an evangelical Christian education. Now, see, here's the thing that you got to understand. The Republicans always have an agenda of fear mongering, and they always threaten with wokeness, They always utilize the threat of taking away our religious rights, and they always include crime and family to get us worried about what's going to take place. Um, but yet, these are the same folks, this conservative group, that backed and were in office at the time when they cut child care legislation, healthcare funding, family leave. They eliminated Head Start and free lunches, but yet they want to talk about making sure that families will stay intact. They want to reverse racial equality. They want to get rid of the Department of Education. Again, these are members, professionals in the Department of Education who have dedicated their lives to education. They want to use something called Schedule F to remove 50,000 civil servants in one day. They want to recruit and train 20,000 conservatives that take an oath to fill those jobs. Now, that oath is an oath to conservatism, and it is an oath to follow what they believe. Um, so yeah, that's that. So let me jump right into this. Okay, Rude Brother Quinn, I see you. Let me share my screen because I've got some of this up now. Okay, and so here's the website, Project 2025, and I'm going to go through some of the stuff. And what's interesting is, and I made a note, if I can find it. I made so many notes, but there was something that I wanted to go through, and I'm going to go right to the forward, The Promise of America, Promise to America by Kevin Roberts, PhD. And I want to go to page, I think it's page 13 or 14. And these are promises right in the forward. These are promises. A promise to America, the conservative promise. They want to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. Guess what? On the surface, that sounds like a great thing. That sounds like a great thing. Dismantle the administrative state and return self-governments to the American people. Again, sounds great until you get into the weeds. Defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats based upon their interpretation. Secure our God-given individual rights to live freely, what our Constitution calls the blessing of liberty. Now, this is some stuff right here. Promise number one: restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. Again, these are the people. These are the people. These are the people who stated, or these are the people who were once part of administrations that took away child care support. Okay, these are the folks that have done that. Give me a minute. I'm taking care of some technical stuff, but you can read this. Okay. So they want promise number one: to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. Promise number two: dismantle the administrative state and return governance to the American people. Promise number three: defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. All sounds good, right? Promise number four: secure our God-given individual right to enjoy the blessing of liberty. Sounds good, huh? Again, this is all up to their interpretation. This is what, look at this, promise number 4. The Declaration of Independence famously asserted the belief of America's founders that all men are created equal. Let me pause on that one. And endowed with the God-given rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I hope y'all with me. It's the pursuit of happiness that is central to America's heroic experiment in self-government. When the founders spoke of pursuit of happiness, what they meant might be understood today as in essence, pursuit of blessedness. That is, an individual must be free to live as his creator ordained to flourish. Our Constitution grants us, each of us, the liberty to do not what we want, but what we ought. This pursuit of the good life is found primarily in family, marriage, and children, Thanksgiving dinners, and the like. Many find happiness through their work. Think of dedicated teachers or healthcare professionals, entrepreneurs or plumbers throwing themselves into their businesses. Anyone who sees a job well done as a personal reward. Religious devotion and religious devotion and spirituality are the greatest sources of happiness around the world. Still, others find themselves happiest in their local voluntary communities of friends, their neighbors, civic, charitable work. Wow, okay, that sounds kind of peaches and cream, right? But when you get down into the weeds, you see some of the comparisons of some of the other countries. Yeah, Brother Steve-O, the second Reconstruction. One of the gentlemen said that this is the second Reconstruction, and they hope that America allows them to do this bloodless. In other words, they're willing to shed blood to get this done. So here's something else I wanted to look at. This is a promise to America. Again, this is the forward. This is just the forward. I haven't even gotten into the weeds of this thing, okay? They have literally taken, as you can see, and this is the book. This is the book. This is the book, okay? This is the book that you can go look at. It's 990 pages. It is available on their website. They have gone through every department, the Department of Agriculture, Department of Education, the Department of Energy, Environmental Protection Agency. They've gone through every department. Now, here's the reason that they know so much about some of these departments. Many people who are on board with Project 2025 once served as individual leaders in these agencies. They served in these agencies. I want to show you something, and I want you to see the advisory board. These are some of the businesses that are on the advisory board. And I want you to go to this website, which is right here, project2025.org. Let me put that banner up so you have it. Let me put that up so you have it. There it is. You can go to that website and you can look up some of these board advisors and see what company it is. See what company it is. Look how many of them have American, the American Family Project, the American Redistricting project, Americans United for Life. And you're going to see some things on here that are quite questionable. All of them questionable. Center for Family and Human Rights, Center for Military Readiness, Center for Immigration Studies, the Claremont Institute, Coalition for Liberty, Concerned Women for America, Committee for Justice, Defense of Freedom Institute. You need to know what's out there, people. This is why I bring you this information. Not for any other reason except for you to be informed, educated, so that when people come at you with this stuff, you can at least hold an educated conversation, because what I'm doing is not telling you how to think. I'm showing you where the information is so that you can think for yourself. Yeah, brother Steve-O, it will be more detrimental. We must participate in the electoral process. We must. Here it is, the Frederick Douglass Foundation. That's pretty interesting, right? What's the Frederick Douglass Foundation do? That's something that you need to look up and see what the Frederick Douglass Foundation does. The Heartland Institute, Gun Owners Foundation. Here it is, man. I mean, D. James Dobson, Liberty University. All your friends that you know that got those scholarships in theology to go to Liberty University, because they give out a lot of money. You need to talk to them and ask them what they learned while they were there. So here it is. This is interesting right here. Project 21, Black Leadership Network. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at that before it's over. Yeah, I so want to go to this right now. Well, you know what? While I got you, let's do it. 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 Look at this. Fox News, Fox News, Fox News. So, okay. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I'm sorry. You can't see it. Let me see. Okay, let me show you this other screen. Modern technology. Here it is. Okay, so this is Project 21, the Black Leadership Network. As you can see, all their commentaries are on Fox News. Project 21 is an initiative of the National Center for Public Policy Research to promote the views of African Americans whose entrepreneurial spirit, sense of family, and commitment to individual responsibility have not traditionally been echoed by the nation's civil rights establishment. So it's contrary to the civil rights movement. This became most obvious during April 1992 riots in Los Angeles, when the media provided extended coverage of the reaction of liberal civil rights leaders to the events surrounding the Rodney King controversy. Curiously, the media made little mention of those in the African American community who spoke out in favor of law and order and individual responsibility and against rioting. Rather, merely complain about the lack of attention given to the conservative and moderate African Americans as typified by the coverage of the riots. The National Center for Public Policy Research convened a meeting of conservative and moderate African American activists in mid-1992 to determine whether it's feasible to construct a network to bring conservative and moderate voices in the Black community to the attention of the media. So here we are. So let's go back. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but let me stay on task. Let me go back to Project 2025. So, yeah, Students for Life, Susan B. Anthony, Pro Life America. This is this is the advisory board. Okay. Now let's look at some of the personnel, because that's quite interesting itself. Let me show you something here. I want to get to and here it is. It's a 180-day playbook. 180-day playbook. And here it is. I want you to see this. Let me do this. I'm jumping around because I want you to see everything that's on this site, because like I said, everybody is going around talking about this, but you need to see exactly what it entails. So here you see it's an actual playbook. Okay, and they have what's called a conservative promise. A conservative promise, okay? And let me see. Let me get that for you. So again, see, here's the thing. It's 922 pages. They're not hiding this at all. They are not hiding this. And if you look up these people, you will see the backgrounds of them. Okay, Dr. Kevin Roberts, edited by Paul Dans and Stephen Groves. Paul Dans has been all over the news lately. You see the advisory board. You see some of the people who are part of the advisory board. Here it is, some of the authors. Darren, and you need to go to this and find out who these authors are. Darren Bask, you need to find out who he is. Jonathan Berry, I have looked them up and see, again, I told you that they used to be part of the Trump administration. Acting Assistant Secretary for Policy at the United States Department of Labor. These people know what goes on within these offices that they're trying to get rid of. Lindsay Burke, Director of the Center for Education Policy at the Heritage Foundation. The Heritage Foundation is the conservative group that is behind the main people behind Project 2025. Lindsay Burke, the Director of Center for Education at Policy for the Heritage Foundation. Burke served on Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin's Transition Steering Committee and Landing Team for Education. She serves on the Board of Visitors for George Mason University, the Board of Educational Freedom Institute, and the Advisory Board of the Independent Women's Forum Education Freedom Center. You gotta know, guys, we gotta know what's behind what we're reading about before we make a decision. Again, you may look at this and say, hey, I'm all for it. That's on you. But make sure you get into the weeds and look beyond the surface stuff. All I'm doing right now is looking at the editors of Project 2020. I mean, the publishers of 2025. These are contributors to this book. I want to go Andin Kandu, professor of law at Michigan State. These are folks who know what they're, who have an agenda and have done their homework. Dustin Carmack, a research fellow for cybersecurity intelligence, emerging technologies in the Border Security and Immigration Center at the Heritage Foundation. So I don't know if you remember. Oh boy, what was the show that Scandal, and you remember the young lady's dad who was supposedly part of this group called B16, this shadow government. Look, you got Benjamin Carson, who is a contributor. We all know Benjamin Carson, who is a served as a director of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins. Wrote a book about his surgical skills, but he is a contributor to this. Ken Cuccinelli. I don't know if any of you remember him. Google that name. He served as the acting director of United States Citizenship and Immigration Services in 2019 and then November 2019 through the end of the Trump administration as acting deputy secretary for the United States Department of Homeland Security, which Project 2025, they want to get rid of Department of Homeland Security. So imagine that. There's some more names, very interesting names. I'm trying to get to one. Gene Hamilton, Vice President and General Counsel of America First Legal Foundation. Look that name up. Know what you're dealing with, guys. So these are all the contributors. These are all the contributors. They got a list of contributors. Some of us look like me and you. Some of them looks like don't. Listen, this is black, white, Asian, Hispanic, and every other. And again, according to them, according to their standards, they want to restore the family as the centerpiece of American life and protect our children. They want to dismantle the administrative state and return self-governments to the American people. States' rights, which unfortunately we all know what happened with states' rights. So that's a little bit of Project 2025, and we're going to go right back to it. But I wanted to see if there's any comments out here. Eddie Pastrano, hello. I am glad you. Let me see. Here it is. Mr. Pastrano, hello. I am glad you are informing your listeners about Project 2025 and how they must vote for democracy by voting blue. We're only going to get one shot at this. That's correct. Kiva, let's do it. Let's do it. Cornell, Rue to the bras. Listen. Again, I am only providing you with a roadmap for you to be able to have the information needed to make your own educated decision. I'm giving you the roadmap so that you can have the educated conversations with your family members, that you don't get into arguments and just say, hey, listen, let's sit down and look at this and let's see if in fact this would be better for us. Because I would go as far as to say, because of proof, the Chevron Act, what took place with Roe versus Wade, what took place with the Supreme Court striking down the fight against the president having total immunity. All of those things, the Supreme Court voted to send the immunity vote back to the states. They voted against the Chevron deal. In other words, the what they call the Chevron project, where now it will be up to legislators instead of the experts in the departments like the EPA or the FDA to make decisions on what they believe is clean water. What is clean in clean water? What is clean in pollutants? where we had the experts in the FDA, the EPA, who would consider it based upon science. Now you got the heads of these industries to say what the amount of clean is. It's ridiculous. Uh, yeah, share and repost after the show. When this will be available on YouTube, um, Instagram Live, and Facebook Live, this will be available for you. Thank you, Mr. Strano. So let me go back to Project 2025. Let me go back to this so you can see it for yourself. Okay, so here it is. So let's go to policy, the policy agenda. Okay, let's go. Let's read the mandate. Okay, I think we did that. Yeah, I think we did that. I think we did that. I think we did that. Let's go to a note. We want you, the 2025 Presidential Transition Project. Now, here's what's funny. You see what is published in the Project 2025 book. See what's here in black and white. It says, let me say it again, okay? Matter of fact, you can't see it. Let me get this. Let me get rid of some of these because I want you to see this. I want you to see this. Here it is. I want you to see this. So you know this is just not me saying all these things. Okay. So you with me? Let me know you with me. Hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on YouTube so I know that you're with me. Okay. Hit me up. I want you to see this. So lately, President of ex-President Trump, former President Trump, came out and said that he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. He doesn't know anything about these people. He thinks it's despicable how some of these things are coming about, this, that, and the other. Well, words matter. Here it is, the 2025 Presidential Transition Project. In case you don't know what that is, transition team goes in on day one and start changes according to the policies and the campaign promises that whoever wins has put forth. And look at the first page. It says, we want you, the 2025 Presidential Transition Project is the conservative movement's unified effort to be ready for the next conservative administration to govern at 12 noon, January 20th, 2025. So how can this group be part of a transition project, a presidential transition project for a president who doesn't know anything about it? I'm just putting it out there, guys. Welcome to the mission. By opening this book, you are now part of it. Indeed, one set of eyes reading these passages will be those of the 47th President of the United States, and we hope every other reader will join in making the incoming administration a success. Kind of difficult to understand how somebody doesn't know about this, but yet this is the group who's going to help them with the transition. See what I'm saying? 52 fake out, guys. It's the banana in the tailpipe trip. The trick. Come on, guys. Get with the program here. Pillar one. Pillar one. This volume puts in one place a consensus view of how major federal agencies must be governed, and where disagreement exists, brackets out these differences for the next president to choose a path. Pillar 2 is a personnel database that allows candidates to build their own professional profiles and our coalition members to review and voice their recommendations. These recommendations will then be collated and shared with to who? The president-elect's team, greatly streamlining the appointment process. Pillar 3, the Presidential Administration Academy, an online educational system taught by experts for our coalition. For the newcomer, this will explain how government functions and how to function in government. The playbook, Pillar 4. We are forming agency teams and drafting transition plans to move out upon the president's utterance of "So help me God." The president, or they hope to be president, who says that he doesn't know anything about Project 2025. It doesn't have anything to do with them. People, are you with me today? Y'all, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Eddie, you with me? I hear you. Kiva, you with me? Trump don't know nothing. Okay, I'm not going to get personal. But so guys, again, now I'm going to give you more. I'm going to give you more. Just hold on. I'm going to give you more because it's that important. It's that important. So now this is where it gets funny because, like I said, you got a presidential candidate who says he doesn't know anything about this group. Okay, but yet this group is talking about how they plan on changing things from day one with a 180-day plan. So something's fishy right there. They are going to get rid of, again, every department within the federal government. And here's what I don't understand. If they're going to get rid of everybody within the government, civil servants, 50,000, and they want to replace them with 20,000 of their folks who have taken an oath to live up to the conservative way, according to their way. Where are they going to work if they're getting rid of these departments? So they're formulating their own departments and their own companies. Now, again, as I told you before, Republicans are very good with fear mongering. They always threaten us with wokeness. They always talk about how the gays are taking over our world, as if people who are gay just came into existence. They always talk about religious freedom, like we don't have the opportunity to practice religious freedom. But their religious freedom is a conservative Christianity. And they want it to be in schools. They want it to be taught in schools. As a matter of fact, in Oklahoma right now, the president of the State Board of Education is putting forth an effort to have Christianity taught in schools. I talked about it last week. And he's willing to go to the Supreme Court. Do you know why? Because they know the Supreme Court is going to vote 6-3. They have 6 conservatives and three liberals. That's another thing that's going to take place. Under Project 2025, they will increase the number of Supreme Court justices so that they will stack the deck to make sure that all of their decisions go their way, as the way of the conservatives. So imagine you're an atheist, you are a Muslim, you are a Buddhist, and your child has to go and learn a form of Christianity according to this conservative group. Now, I wish you could see all the books in here, okay? This is over 12 years and 4 degrees in theology and religious studies. Okay, I have a certificate. I have a bachelor's. I have a master's. I have a doctorate. Earn, earn, nothing given. Earn. Okay, graduated with honors, magna cum laude, summa cum laude. I have probably with 30 years in the church, serving all kind, senior pastor, founder, assistant minister. I've served on different ministries, and let me tell you, I'm still learning. I'm still learning, and I would never dare try to shove down anyone's throat my particular form of religion. Now, I will teach it, and I will give witness to what I believe and why. But I believe in the freedom of choice. I love my Muslim brothers and sisters the same way I love my Buddhist brothers and sisters, the same way I love my Jewish brothers and sisters, even my atheist brothers and sisters. I love them as humans, regardless of what they believe. I'm good with my faith. Um, so how arrogant is that? That you're going to tell somebody this is the way of Christianity that I'm teaching. Are you teaching out of the King James, the New King James, the New International Version, the New Revised Standard Version? I mean, what version are you going to teach from? And now, what are you going? Are your math teachers now going to have to take theology classes? So you're going to teach 2 times 2 is 4 and 1 John 3 and 2? Or are you going to have theology teachers now teaching in your school, and religion is going to be um, uh, part of their coursework from K through 8? Um, and the people are like, well, Reverend, why are you against that? I'm not against religion being taught in school, or I'm not against. I'm against one religion. If we're going to teach one religion, we teach all religion. We need to have world religions so that everyone can know about everyone. If we're going to be equal, if if we're not going to be ignorant, then we need to know about Islam. We need to know about Jewish faith. We need to know about Buddhist. We need to know about Christianity. We need to know about all of the religions instead of just shoving it down. And we talk about, well, this nation was built in a Christian basis. No, it wasn't. It was taught with a freedom of religion. Okay. So do your history, do your homework. We got a little bit more time left. Let me go through a little bit. Eddie, I'm from Texas, and here in Texas, there is a snitch site to turn in women who are leaving the state to have an abortion. Yeah, I didn't even get into that, Eddie. Wow. I didn't even get into that. Um, yeah, my sister, I'm doing the best I can, Kiva. Um, yeah, abortion will be banned. Contraception will be banned. That's part of that martial law. Look at this. Bounty hunters get paid $10,000 to snitch on women who are leaving the state to have an abortion. Again, the choice is up to you. I'm not telling you what to believe. Those of you for abortion, those of you against abortion. Um, yeah, that's a good question. Why is Trump trying to distance himself from Project 2025, and his website is pushing the agenda? And 47, yeah, yeah, that's the question. If in fact Trump is saying that he doesn't know anything about this group, but yet on his website they're pushing the agenda. Kind of strange, right? Let me give you a little bit more information before we close out here. And I hope you guys are getting something out of this. I know I've been ranting all night long, but I want you to see exactly what's going on with this. Let me see. All right, here's something else. So they are part of, again, this is Project 21, who is part of this group, part of the Board of Advisors for the Heritage Center and Project 2025. Blueprint for a Better Deal, Black America. What immigration policy means for Black America. These are some of the publications that come from this Project 21 Black Leadership Network, which is a strong contributor to Project 2025. Guys, I'm just telling you, I'm not against you conservative folks. I'm a fiscal conservative myself, but you know, I ain't going to join some other group just to be heard. I'm going to leave that there. I can speak for myself. I tell you, man, we always got something. Let me shut up because I'm getting ready to say something that might get me in trouble. So let me move forward before we get out of here. I want to show you some more of Project Fake News. Fake news. Okay, Brother Quinn. Let me show you some more. So this is the table of contents for Project 2025. They have the forward, which we went through a little bit, Promise to America, taking the reins of government, the executive office of the President of the United States. They have detailed every function of the offices of the United States. Department of Agriculture, Department of Education, which they want to get rid of. They want to get rid of the Department of Agriculture. They want to get rid of the EPA. They want to get rid of the Health and Human Services. They want to get rid of Department of Housing and Urban Development. And this, Dr. Ben Carson is one of the publishers of Project 2025. He used to be the head of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and he's moving towards getting rid of it. So basically all they're doing is they're getting rid of these federal agencies and putting those who used to be a part of it, who didn't do well in it. Now they want to put them in charge of those departments within their own organization. Should have done well. That's like, I went out for the Lakers, got cut. So I joined in with a bunch of other people to have my own basketball league. And now I'm part of the team that I couldn't make on my own. Come on, man. Come on. All these departments they want to get rid of. Department of Commerce, Department of Treasury, they want to get rid of all of these. And they have a book that shows exactly how to do this. So this is the last part I want to read from, and I want to go over with you so that you can see for yourself exactly what's going on. I hope you guys go back and look at this for yourself, go through this document so you'll be informed. The idea of Mandate for Leadership was first conceived in the fall of 1979 at a Heritage Foundation Board of Trustees meeting when former Treasury Secretary Bill Simon and former General Service GSA Administration Jack Eckert discussed the predicament they had faced when they first joined a new, more conservative presidential administration. So they started this in 1979, folks. 1979. They've been dealing with this. The staff at Heritage took this idea on as a challenge, and it would become the defining policy decision in early history of this upstart think tank. So this all comes from a think tank that they've been dealing with for so long. The candidate, then president-elect, the President Ronald Reagan's feisty new kid on the conservative bloc, the Heritage Foundation, had the answer, and it was the Mandate for Leadership. First published in January 1981, the original mandate served as a conservative plan for action for the Reagan administration, providing much of the blueprint for the Reagan Revolution. It contained more than 2,000 detailed, actionable policy recommendations to move the federal government in a conservative direction. So, this think tank at the Heritage Foundation started way back, I think it was, what did I say, 1979. And they were able to move it forward under then President Ronald Reagan. First published in 1981. They were able to get a lot of these ideas done through his cabinet. So now they see another chance. They got more people involved. And now we can't go to sleep. We can't go to sleep. Okay, Reverend Hope, I see you. Share it on my page. I certainly will. Here's another part on page 885. After that first edition, a new mandate was produced every 4 years, but the 2016 edition was one of particular note. Get this. It earned significant attention from the Trump administration, as Heritage had accumulated a backlog of conservative ideas that had been blocked by President Barack Obama and his team. Soon after President Donald Trump was sworn in, his administration began to implement major parts of the 2016 mandate. Uh-oh, here we go. So, the presidential candidate who has stated publicly in the press that he does not know anything about Project 2025 had major parts of the 2016 mandate by the same group, the Heritage Foundation. After his first year in office, the administration had implemented, y'all ready? 64% of its policy recommendations. It came from the Heritage Foundation, y'all. Page 885. Listen, that's why, guys, you got to get off TikTok for a while. You got to get off all these other things for a minute. Because you got to read. It's right there. Brother Eddie, he's losing votes. People are pissed off at what they're telling you what they're going to do once in office. Trump is also backing away from the fact that he did away with Roe versus Wade. Yeah. They're all tied to the hip, Eddie. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Where was I? Here it is right here on page 885. Page 885. After the first year in office, talking about President Trump, the administration had implemented 64% of the policy recommendations by the Heritage Foundation. As a result of those recommendations, the Trump administration cut taxes and eliminated unnecessary regulations. And what those supposedly unnecessary regulations were they cut back on the Environmental Protection Agency and the Food and Drug Administration. And because of that, pollution went up. Every year in Florida now, you have something known as red tide, where folks that live in certain parts of Florida have fish and all kinds of wildlife just washing up dead on their shores, on their porches, on their docks, because what's being pumped into our waters. Places like Jackson, Mississippi, and all those places with water crisis, and Detroit, Michigan, all those places, man. I mean, took away some of those supposedly aggressive regulations, but what you did was you killed communities. As a result of these recommendations, the Trump administration cut taxes, eliminated unnecessary regulations, creating a growing economy and the lowest unemployment rate in 5 decades, including among minorities and women. Not true. It made America a net energy exporter for the first time. It also prioritized veterans care and rebuilt our national defenses. Talk to some of your veteran friends and have them tell you how difficult it is to get treated at some of the veteran hospitals and how they are treated at some of these veterans hospitals. Come on, y'all. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick or the 52 fake out. Guys, I went through a whole bunch of this. I gave you the blueprint. Go read for yourself. I'm up to page 887. Again, I'm not telling you how to vote. Liz Allen. Late to the stream, there was also the Powell memo in 1971, and Lewis Powell went on to the Supreme Court. Yeah, listen, guys, you got to read for yourself. Okay, you got to read for yourself. You got to sit down and you got to think to yourself: is this where I want to see the America that I live in go? Is this is this what I want? Do I want an autocrat as a president? Do I want a king? Do I want a forever president? Do I want a king to be there forever? This guy who has a 34 times felon, person who talks nasty about women. It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm not here to tell you how to vote. I'm not here to give you one way or the other. I'm just here to give you information. And I know that this talk has been going around and it's been some news bites, it's been some 30-second clips, it's been this, it's been that. I wanted to give you a roadmap to show you exactly how to go and study this for yourself. So you see the website, it's there. Read it for yourself, guys. Reading is fundamental. Some of you my age remember Riff. Reading is fundamental. You remember conjunction, junction, what's your function? Working out phrases and clauses and all that stuff. And then, oh, I'm just a bill, just a little bill, and I'm sitting on Capitol Hill. And it took you through all the segments of what's going on with how to make a bill. Again, guys, last week I gave you a little education. 3 branches of government. Oh, let me say this to you one more time, too. So all this talk about Biden being old and this, that, and the other. So you saw through Project 2025, and you read through the 992 pages, you see that they detailed all of the different federal offices that encompass the White House, just the executive branch alone. Okay. I want you to realize that the president is not the only one making decisions. So if you think that we've got to rely on the president himself to make all the decisions, the president has chief of staff, executive chief of staff. He has the vice president. She has the chief of staff. She has a list of people who brief her. You've got all kinds of briefings that take place from experts in their fields. You got military briefings. You've got regulatory agencies that give briefings. So, I'm just saying, you think about in your own family, and unfortunately, we live in an era where ageism is a real thing. I mean, you get to be over 40 years old, and now you old. And don't be 50 or 60 years old. They're ready to put you in a nursing home. They don't listen to anything that you say, but yet a lot of these young folks who are talking about old and ageism, They living in their parents' house. That's a whole nother story for another day. But I'm just making the point that don't fall again for the trick of, oh, he's old. Oh, he he had to take a nap. Listen, I work an 8-hour day and got to take a nap in between that. Okay, look at some of y'all. Y'all know you work hard. You take a nap too. Okay, yeah, Eddie. Fascists rule on fear. You never know when someone will snitch on you just because. Do you want to live this way? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Yeah, Quinn, this stuff is amazing. That's why you got to read, guys. That's why you got to read for yourself, okay? But anyway, don't fall for this ageism thing that they're talking about with Trump or Biden, because Trump ain't too much younger. It ain't like he's spring chicken running around here doing the 110 hurdles or the 220 hurdles or anything like that. Come on. So you got 3 branches of government, okay? Though that's what's out there, and that's what they want to get rid of. They want to add to the judicial branch. The legislative branch, there's nothing they can do with that, but the executive branch is where they want to take control. Okay? So, guys, I hope you got a lot from this. It was a lot. I'm tired. I need to take a nap. But listen, guys, I just wanted to give you a roadmap. Take a look at this, read for yourself. Take time out through the week. Don't be a news junkie like me. But at least take one day to find out what's going on and read for yourself. Fact check the checkers. Those who present the news and present stories to you, fact check it. Make sure you can go to the source and look. Be educated in your conversations. Be educated on how you vote, but definitely vote. Whether you vote Democrat, you vote Republican, that's up to you. That's your choice. That's your choice. But make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. My sister Liz, I would submit that Biden is biologically younger than Trump anyway. Yeah. Keep Trump's a talker. Biden get the job done. Yeah. So there you go. There's your statements, guys. There it is. I'm giving you an opportunity to chime in on your own. Go back, look at this, get the information. 920 pages. You can get through some of them, at least the important parts. Go through. Here's my suggestion to you. Go and find out who some of the publishers are, who some of the people who are on the board, who are some of the people on the board, and look at some of those foundations to see who they are. Very interesting. Very interesting. I wish I had time some more of those. But look at their backgrounds and see what they've been through. These are the people who want to run this nation and shove stuff down your throat. Think, people. Listen, in the meantime, go out in your own communities, because that's where it starts, on the local level. Go out in your own communities and meet needs, solve problems, and love your brother and sister, man. Have some fun. Go get a scoop of ice cream or two. It'll do you well. God bless you all. Thanks for being with me. I'll see you next week. All right? Take care. God bless.